Is it ever a good idea to create a one-night stand for yourself? I can hear like echoes of people saying, yes, yes. And a whole other crew going, no, no, no. And so how do you know? How do you know if giving yourself a one-night stand, giving yourself a sexual adventure is the right move for you when your ultimate goal is to attract love? Your ultimate goal is to find the love of your life. Is it a good idea to give yourself a one-night stand with someone that you know is not going to be that long-term partner for yourself? This was the question that got posed about a week ago in our Manifest Your Man Q&A, and I loved the raw authenticity and the courage this woman had to ask this question. She goes, look, I haven't been in a relationship in a long time, and I've got a ton of pent up sexual energy. I can feel that just the sexual energy is getting in the way of me attracting my long-term partner, because I feel like if I go on a date with that guy, I'm going to want to jump into bed real fast. So is it a good idea for me to get that sexual energy out, just kind of move the energy, and so that I can feel more grounded and feel more peaceful when I meet my long-term guy and go on a date with him? And so how do you know what's the right move, what's not the right move? Over the last 15 years of coaching women in attracting love, what comes to my mind in this moment of how to answer this question, an old coach, an athletic football coach that I had in college. And this coach would say something that back in college stumped me, but now I get it. And he says, I coach everyone exactly the same, differently. What does that mean? Like, how do you coach everyone the same but different? How can those two things actually match? And he said, because my coaching methodology is consistent, but not everybody is exactly at the right spot. So if you're over here on the scale, I'm going to coach you differently than if you're over here. And so this is also the same philosophy around this question is, should you have a one-night stand or should you not? It all depends on where you're starting from and what you believe around one-night stands. The single greatest determiner of whether or not you manifest love for yourself is the degree of believing power you have. And not just the believing power for whether or not you will find love, but your believing power in the prerequisites required to find love. Do you believe that you have to get all your healing done first before you find love? If you believe that to be the case, then that is what will be so. Do you believe that it's required that you release 15 pounds before you find love? If you believe that, then that is what will be so. And yet there's all kinds of women who have not completely healed the past or not shed all the weight they want to shed, and they still find love. Why? Because they believe it's still possible. I remember I was in a seminar once with Dr. Gay Hendricks. A woman stood up and she said, Dr. Gay Hendricks, do I have to release all my internal blocks in order for me to find love? I want love. I've been single for over 5 years, and I feel like if I could just release these few final blocks, I then will be able to find love. I thought he was going to help her release these blocks because he's amazing at helping shed energetic blocks and emotional patterns that are in our way. But when he said to her, just opened my mind back when I first heard this, he said, we can work on the blocks, but let me ask you this. Would it be okay with you if you manifested him while you were releasing these blocks? And she said, well, yeah. You could feel her and see her just open up to this new possibility. And he said, let's open up our possibility in our minds that you could actually manifest him and be doing your healing work. At the same time, one doesn't necessarily have to come before the other unless you believe it to be so. Let me share with you this book right here. I love this book. It's called Mind to Matter, written by Dawson Church. And what he's talking about is how we create results in our lives, how we manifest in our lives. Why are the results the way they are? What he writes about all the research that shows that what you believe to be true or necessary for you to create results ultimately then becomes the experience you have in creating those results. I'll give you an example. Researchers at New York University found that romance-minded students who believed that they would get a date were significantly more likely to do so. Golfers who were told that they were playing with a lucky ball, so therefore they believed that they had a lucky ball, scored better during practice than those that didn't have that lucky ball. In games of chance, optimists win more prizes than pessimists. In other words, people who see the silver lining around the dark clouds, using their minds to positively reframe negative events, What they do is they deactivate the amygdala, the midbrain structure that processes fear. According to psychologist Richard Wiseman, these people expect the best outcomes, and then these outcomes become self-fulfilling prophecies. Should you have a one-night stand or not? The first place to go with this is, do you believe that one-night stand will get in the way of you finding love? If you believe it will, then don't have the one-night stand. If, on the other hand, you believe that this one-night stand is actually going to free you, it's actually going to help you move the energy so that you can have love in your life, you can have and manifest that long-term partner, then give yourself the ability to have this one-night stand. The one-night stand in and of itself, if it's done with mutual respect, with consent, in a safe way, can absolutely expand the energy. It can absolutely help you tap into the sexual side. If that side has been shut down for so long, you want to reactivate it, and you feel good and expansive with this idea, it's a beautiful way to get that side of your energy flowing again so that you'll be able to access it more freely when you do attract the person that you want to be in a long-term relationship with. In other words, if done from a place of love, it can lead to more love. But if done from a place of fear or control, in other words, like you feel like you have to jump into bed with somebody to know whether or not you connect with them, that's coming from a place of fear rather than love. If you feel like, oh, I have to have this sexual expression because there might be an addiction there, that's coming from a place of control, not from a place of freedom and abundance. So whatever the root source of the energy is, it's going to get more energy like that. So if it's coming from this place of belief, this is going to help me find love. Coming from this place of mutual respect, care, consent with each person, it can absolutely help you create the result that you want to create. And so here's a methodology for how to know whether or not this move will serve you. And it's called the crossroads. And this crossroads is a mental activity that you can do where you imagine yourself at the beginning of two different paths. The first thing that you do is you imagine the result that you want when it's all worked out. So imagine it's a year from now, and you are in the relationship with this long-term guy that you want to have in your life. You're in that beautiful state. You can feel his energy. You can feel the connection. You feel your beingness, what emotions you're experiencing, the gratitude, the safety, the peace, the love, the connection. You feel what that feels like. And then you bring that energy, that state of being, to the beginning of this crossroads. And you imagine on the left side of this crossroads is one opportunity. Let's say it's having the one-night stand with this particular person. The right-hand opportunity is the other opportunity. In this regards, not having the one-night stand and just pursuing your long-term partner. And you allow yourself to walk the path in your imagination, giving it full pictures, full experience. The more vividly you can imagine this, the more it will work for you to then identify, how does it feel on that path? Does it feel in alignment with the vision that you have in your life? Then you come all the way back to the beginning of the crossroad and take the other path. At the beginning, what you want to do too is you want to kind of shake out the energy, do this standing up, shake out that energy, bring yourself back to the vision, and then walk down that path and fully put it on, embody it, see it, feel it. What does it feel like? What is it? What's the experience? What is the emotional state of that path? And then come back to the beginning. Whichever path most resonates or is most similar to the feeling tone of the vision, that path is in alignment with that vision. Because remember, like attracts like. And there is no right or wrong answer here, right? You may have a different belief. So whatever you believe, follow that belief, because that's going to be the strongest force in your life. But if you're wondering, you're like, Matt, is it right? Is it wrong? I'm telling you, there's no right or wrong other than what feeling most aligns with your long-term vision. And then follow that. Follow that feeling. As you follow what feels expansive, you will create amazing, not only results, but synchronicities that attract everything that are in a harmony and in alignment with the long-term vision that you just held in mind. I'll give you one more tip, and that is that when you do meet your person that you think, ooh, this person's got potential to be my long-term partner, my encouragement is to support him in his process of falling in love with you, and to support yourself in also falling in love with him. Reserve sex until after the two of you have committed to be exclusive and really pour into this relationship with one another. And here's why. When the two of you make love, you guys have sex, often what happens is, and it's not the same for every single human being, but generally speaking, for the woman, you release a huge flood of the hormone oxytocin, and that's your bonding hormone. And so it's very easy for you to become bonded to him, biochemically bonded to him. Men, we often don't have the same, and again, every man is different, but generally speaking, he doesn't have the same reaction. Our bonding hormone in that activity is vasopressin. And for men, vasopressin plummets after sex, after he orgasms, unless he has committed to the woman. When he commits to a woman, there's a rearranging of hormones in his system that actually allows him to bond through sex in a different way than before he's committed. There's all kinds of research on this, great TED Talks on this if you want to explore more about it. But I found that information fascinating because it explains what we've experienced in our own lives. I'm sure you've experienced this. Everything is going great. A guy sleeps with somebody and then he's like, checks out. Well, he's not as bonded anymore, and she bonds hard and it creates conflict. So to support him in his falling in love process, just hold off on that part of it until, and I know it's probably easier said than done, right? But hold off until the two of you commit to one another. And that can support the process all along. So do one night stands support you in attracting love and finding that person that you would love to be with? I would love to hear your take. What has your experience been? Go ahead and share that in the comment section below. I'm sure it's going to be a really fun read in the conversation below. And know this, if you would love support in building your belief that love really is possible for you, because it is, and often the biggest gap is our believing power, is our mindset because of how much we've gone through in the past. The gap in our experience, the current results and the lack of love in our own life are so much in our face. Getting ourselves to that place of believing, which is the first click in finding love, can be a really big challenge. If you would love support with that, that's one of the primary things we do in Manifest Your Man. When you go through these processes and techniques, you will have a stronger belief in your possibility for love than you ever have before. And that's why so many women manifest love so fast out of this particular program. It doesn't just cover belief though. It covers your belief set. It covers your heart set, really opening our heart again, and our skill set for how to build attraction, create communication, beautiful boundaries, and establish a deep, powerful relationship. If that feels life-giving to you, click the link below. Check out the Manifest Your Man program. I would love to serve you. Here's to your amazing love life. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.